All right, so let me go back. Sharing the screen. So for those of you guys who, also everybody who's here, can you type something? Sorry, I don't know why I'm breaking up. Can you also type something in the chat box, like say hi or I'm here, so I know. So when I'm taking attendance, even if you leave at the end of class, your name is still posted there for attendance. Okay. So um, so this is the project overview. Undoing understanding. So what is this project about? Is how can I investigate a body's response to change in order to contribute new understanding to scientific knowledge? Enduring understanding. What are the knowledge that will be sticking with you forever and forever if you are focused in class? First thing, living system respond to change using various feedback mechanism that allow them to maintain stable internal condition that are optimal for survival. These stable condition and the processes that maintain them are called homeostasis. This is actually the big word, the big content that we're going to learn about. This whole project is about homeostasis. How do we stabilize ourselves internally uh, in response to external stimulus or stimuli? Checkpoint two, multicellular organisms maintain homeostasis through the interaction of various internal systems and specialized cells. Both cell division and differentiation produce specialized cells. While all cells contain the same DNA, specialized cells express different genes according to their function, and thus their role in the body's response to environmental change is specific. Okay? That's why, if on a crime scene, they can use your blood or your saliva or your hair to determine who the person is. However, specialized cells, they all function, they all have a different function. So the body uses specialized cells to maintain homeostasis whenever it needs. When planning investigation to test homeostasis, scientists ask testable questions in which a clear relationship between variables, the cause or independent variable, and the effect or dependent variable can be tested. Next, in order to contribute new evidence and understanding to a body of scientific knowledge already known, scientists first secondhand. That's why when we're doing research uh, um, project, you want to find peer-reviewed article, not like something somebody posted on Instagram or Facebook, but you want to go directly to the source. The scientist who did the work in the lab, you want to use their writing. That's called primary source because they did the work versus include controlling all variables besides the cause and effect being tested, using control group and experimental group, using multiple trials to generate a large body of data, and lastly, writing a procedure that can be repeated by someone. This is the scientific method, how to do proper research. When the time comes to share their findings, scientists use argumentations, which are claim, evidence, and reasoning, as a way to explain and communicate their discoveries. A scientist's claim relates to the overall conclusion of an investigation or the discovered answer to the testable question originally asked. Scientists then support their claim with an interpretation of their collected evidence, which is the data, and reasoning using science core ideas. In this case, core idea related to homeostasis, the hierarchical organization of multicellular organism in specialized cell. Scientists publish their finding by writing scientific articles that follow a specific structure and format. These articles are then peer-reviewed by other scientists, then published in scientific journal. To reach a broader audience, scientists can also publish their finding using infographics. Infographics help to communicate scientific findings in a way that more people besides the scientists can understand and access. So there are two parts to this project. First, you're going to research and conduct investigation on a body's response. So it could be anything. Like, why is it that if you're sitting a certain way, you feel like your body, your extremities start going numb or something like that? Why do you get goosebumps? When you get fever, when you have a fever, how does your body fight the fever without, let's say you don't take any medication or something like that? You know, like when a mother is having a baby, how does the cervix keep on dilating? All of these are bodies. All of these things are the body's trying to reach a stable condition, right? Because the baby needs to come out. So the body knows that cervix needs to keep on opening until the mother delivers the baby. How does all those things happen? And then the second part is how you are presenting your data, your finding. Okay, so I don't want you guys to feel overwhelmed. I know it seems like a lot, but we're gonna break it down. Okay, so this is the description of the project. Living system, like our own bodies, responds to changing environment in various ways in order to maintain stability and thus survive. If you have a fever and your body can't, if you get hot, let's say you're running and you start getting hot and your body cannot suddenly start producing sweat to cool you down, you will die. So living system, like our own bodies, responds to a changing environment in various ways in order to maintain stability and thus survive. Sometimes these responses go unnoticed because we don't realize our bodies are doing them. For example, when your body regulates blood sugar levels after a big meal, other time we can feel and notice our bodies changing, responding to change. For example, when our body develop goosebumps in response to colder temperature. In either case, our bodies are using internal feedback mechanism in order to respond and maintain internal condition to stay alive. Scientists like physiologists call these homeostasis. Physiology is the study of how living system function. Okay, so I don't think anybody here in this chat has diabetes, but the reason why we don't have diabetes, God bless us, is because our body knows how to regulate blood level. Hold on a second. Let me talk to my kids real quick. Guys, Wood, Molisa, can we not do the noise? Sorry, guys. Kids. Huh. For other people whose body's system has broken down, they can't regulate their own blood levels, blood sugar levels, so they need insulin because they either have high blood sugar or low blood sugar. But for us, our body does it for us without even us noticing. Okay. Next paragraph. While scientists know many of the mechanisms that allow our bodies to maintain homeostasis and function, there are still many questions that have yet to be answered. For example, what effect does emotion, visual stimuli, sounds, or the behaviors of other people, for instance, yawning, have on our bodies, and how and why do we respond to these change? Questions like these require further investigation in order for scientists to develop explanation and answers. Investigating these types of questions that remain a mystery is your task for this project. During this project, you identify one question This is the part where you're asking, if you're wondering like, okay, what is it? How do we start? What are we gonna do? During this project, you identified one question relating to a body response phenomenon of your choice. So once we get into it and I start giving you guys a list of things that the body does, you're gonna choose something that the body does, a response that the body has to a phenomenon, and test it in order to contribute new evidence to the field of physiology already known. To accomplish this task, you're gonna learn about a well-known example of homeostasis, then identify a less known body.
You keep breaking up.
Fun, but there's gonna be a lot of reading involved. Research the evidence and body response. I'm sorry, I have to go close some windows and turn on my ACs because it's getting a little too loud.
Well, I'm hearing half information right now.
You say what?
Yeah,
I'm hearing
you're
half
breaking
information.
up.
Sorry, give me a second. Mm. Give me 1 second.
Oh god.
All right, if anybody new had came on here, can you please type your name, say something in the chat box so I know you were here, so I can take attendance. Who is this person? Okay. All right. So we're going to conduct research by reading a lot of scientific article to identify what is known and what is not known. Next, you're going to plan and conduct an investigation. I'm sorry, am I sharing the screen? Share. Okay. All right, the other thing you're gonna do is plan and conduct an investigation to test your question while meeting specific characteristic of a trustworthy investigation to ensure that your test produce trustworthy results. Because again, we're talking about a body, so it's like you could be like, Mom, let me let you watch this video and let me measure your pulse and see, if your heart rate increase or something like that, or whatever the case might be. So I'm gonna give you guys a list of different things that you guys can test at home on your own body. Like you can put an ice pack on, and if you have like a fifth task, use your collected evidence and core
We didn't
ideas.
hear any of that. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Where were you at?
You broke up.
Yeah.
Did you guys, so I went over number 4. Organize your collected data into a graph so you can interpret your results and develop a claim that helps you to answer your question. Use your collected evidence and core ideas related to homeostasis, the hierarchical organization of multicellular organism and specialized cells, in order to develop a complete evidence-based explanation to your body's response phenomenon. Question in the form of claim, evidence, and reasoning argument. And lastly, communicate your investigation findings using an infographic, in order to share your evidence-based explanation so other scientists and the general public can learn about your discovery. All right, so here are how the project is broken down. First, you guys will have the opportunity to choose a body response phenomenon and ask testable question. Second, you're gonna research what scientists already know about the phenomenon that you have chosen and don't know. Then you're gonna plan and conduct your own investigation, organize and interpret your data, using evidence and core ideas to construct an explanation, communicate your finding using an infographic. And then, so when we talk about the deadline of this project being November 6th, we are talking about down here, okay? That's the part we're talking about that we're gonna be doing by the end, right? Because compiling everything together and say, this is the research I have done and this is what I have found, and putting everything together. This is what we're looking at the last week of school, and not anything up here, okay? All right. What time is it? Questions. What questions do you guys have? So as far as the internet breaking, I have no idea what to do about it, because I literally upgraded my service from whatever gigabyte to 200 something gigabytes, because I thought it was because my kids are also using